I was cracking up at some of your Q&As on Instagram last night. They were, those were really funny. And also I feel like I learned a lot about him. You know, it was a good mix of like some jokes and stuff in there. Yes. And then I was like, well, getting to see this technology in action was really cool too. And I noticed that you said something about Xavier Wheeler being the strongest on the team, pound for pound.
Yes.
How was he pulling that off?
Xavier is a really low center of gravity. He's got big, strong legs, big, strong hips. He plays low to the ground, and that's why he's so quick. That's why he's so stable. His balance is great. His shiftiness, his quickness, all of those things, his explosiveness, all those things are because of his strength in a lot of different ways. And he's a kid that he likes the weight room. He's been in it. He understands it's something that he's good at. Like everybody else is one of those people that like to do things that they're really good at, and the weight room's just kind of one of them. So I say that pound for pound. Now, if you told Oscar to maybe bench press, if they went just like a bench press contest, then
it's a little different.
It's a little bit different, but I would say pound for pound, like Xavier is he's like Mighty Mouse.
Then you look at a guy like Oscar who's coming in, you know, he's had a full year in this program already, and obviously other years at other programs, and he seems to be in really good shape, like a lot of these guys are. How do you take Oscar to the next level?
Yeah, see, Oscar's completely different. Whereas like there's some kids that need strength, there's some kids that need quickness, there's some kids that need explosiveness, or they might have bad habits, whatever it might be. Where Oscar's one of those kids that has great habits, he does things the right way, wants to do things the right way. He's one of the strongest individuals I've ever worked with. It's just becoming a better, more fluid athlete, becoming more of a basketball player. So having the background, like I have a background in jiu-jitsu and base level gymnastics, different dance things, so like that stuff can be maybe a little bit more applied towards Oscar as compared to maybe somebody else. Somebody that's really, really mobile, fluid, like Xavier and like Jacob. Like they're very, very fluid athletes, especially in space, and they move really, really well. Whereas like Oscar is one of those people that just enforces his will on people. Where now, if he wants to go to the next level, which he got great feedback that he can, but to be the player exactly of who he wants to be and even get a little bit better than where he is to gain some more of that fluidity and become a little bit better athlete in space and be able to understand awareness of things around him, coordination, timing, sequencing, balance, all those different things.
Damian is someone who's talked a lot about his weight gaining journey. I mean, he told us last year before the start of the season they had him eating 5,000 calories a day. And he said he's up, 15 pounds, looking to add a little bit more still before the start of the season. What have you seen from him so far?
I think that one thing I told him was there's some people that have to be intentional about getting better at basketball, right? Like they have to become a better ball handler, they have to become a better shooter or whatever it is, where Damian has every tool on a basketball court you could ever need. Like he shoots the ball really well, he's extremely athletic, he moves well. He actually is like a little bit more mobile than you would think too. Like he can get into weird positions, he can get out of those weird positions, which is what I think sport is. But one thing intentional for him is he eats really slow. So I tell them that you have to be a little bit more intentional about what you're intaking and how frequent and how fast you're intaking it. Because like one thing is like if you eat, and this is maybe a health tip for somebody at home, eat slower if you don't want to gain very much weight, right? Whereas like he eats extremely slow. So like one thing for him is that we've set an intention that whenever we eat, we try to eat a little bit quicker. So we've taken away distractions, we've taken away the phone, we've taken away different things, and like we just eat because he understands that what is going to make him better and what's going to increase that, which is what his goal is, right? It's his number one goal is to gain weight. If your number one goal is to gain weight, then you have to be intentional about gaining the weight. So he's really taken that on. Like I eat breakfast and lunch with him every day. We correspond with dinner, and then I help him with his snacks to make sure that he's never at a deficit.
That's really interesting. Eat faster.
Eat faster.
It sounds simple, but it's harder than it sounds.
Well, you get more full if you take a long time to eat.
Right.
Like
you're just tired of eating.
Yeah. You just get there and you're like, okay, I'm full, because your food, it takes time to digest, and like if you can actually take in more food, it takes it a little bit quicker. So
that's interesting. I like sort of the mixture of how you're able to take where we are now and the weightlifting and the fitness part of it and really partner it with that nutrition and diet as well, because those two things have to play together.
I think nutrition is just as important, if not more important, than what we do in here, because how you recover in the field that you have, and then I always think of it output versus input. Like what you're doing on the court, what you're doing in the weight room, you have to match it or even go past it in order to increase performance. Like you just have to. If you're trying to function on an empty tank, like you just can't do it. So you always have to have a full tank to be able to do the things that you want to do and be able to improve. And then a guy like Damian, like your tank has to be more than full, because if you use all your fuel and you don't fill it up quite enough, then you're just always trying to find this like reserve, and you can't really increase.
Has anybody surprised you so far?
I think Lance has surprised me quite a bit. I think everybody has surprised me in their own little way, because You come in, you know nothing about them, right? Like you've only seen tape, I've only watched them and assessed them from strictly a physical aspect. But like whenever you get to meet somebody and you understand people's approach and where they're trying to go, I think Lance has really surprised me. I shouldn't say surprised me, I've just been really impressed with his approach. So I shouldn't say surprised like I expected him to not be that way, but he's been impressive on his approach to try to be a leader and do those things, which has been great.
Really interesting stuff there, I thought. Big thanks to Brady for the time. We'll have more from that interview coming your way over the next couple of days. He had a lot of great insight that we want to keep bringing you.
Yeah, but still ahead tonight, you'll hear from a few of the players themselves. Jacob Toppin gives us his take on how the freshmen are looking. You're watching BBN Tonight.